What kills the passion, the romance, the understanding, the love, the affection in your relationship? We're going to talk about 7 of those things that actually happen that is killing the romance in your relationship. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into it. The very first one is complacency. Yes, when we get into the relationship. So before you got into the relationship, let me back up. Before you got into the relationship, everything was going great. You would always get dressed up. You were very attentive. You would laugh at his jokes. You would play with her hair. You guys would have a wonderful time. You would talk for hours and hours as if the day would never end, as if you didn't want this feeling or this time frame to stop. Complacency looks like you not dressing up anymore. You stop being attentive. You stop trying to find out who it is you're lying next to, who it is you're in the bed with. You're just going through the motions throughout each day. Complacency looks like you slouching. Complacency looks like you not doing your hair for days on end. Complacency looks like you staying in your pajamas for days and days at a time. And finally, complacency can look like you not taking a shower, not taking a bath, not doing anything for self-care. Complacency is taking your partner for granted. This kills the romance because no longer are the butterflies, that fluttering sensation that you once had, isn't there anymore. You may have fun, you may laugh and joke, but the romance, the fantasy behind your partner is now dissipating or has already gone away. So complacency, stop being complacent. If you want the romance, stop being complacent. The second thing, distrust. Trust is already hard enough to earn in most people's eyes because many of us have been burned one way or another in our lives and in our relationships. So trusting someone can be a very tough thing to do in the first place. So when I distrust you, or after you have broken my trust for you, it is really hard, not impossible, but really hard for us to now get back to where we once were. Again, it is possible, but it will take some time. So when I distrust you, I am no longer longing for you. I am no longer reaching for you in the middle of the night. I am actually reaching for somebody else, figuratively and maybe even literally, depending on how long this distrust has become a part of your relationship. Distrust kills the romance. It kills the security. It kills the butterfly feeling. It kills the moments that you once had, those memories that you try to reach for and attain once again. They have all gone away because of the distrust that you now have for your partner and in the security of the relationship as well. This thing could be over mentally before it's actually over literally. But distrusting your partner does not have any romantic feelings within that relationship. There still might be periods of laughter and periods of fun, but it's no deep connection when that distrust is there. Everything is just lingering and hanging in the air because you haven't dealt with whatever reason or whatever problem that brought about the distrust of your partner and of the relationship in general. Number 3, lack of communication. I know that this one is literally a cliche. Communication is everything, though. It totally is. And communication can be about any and everything. Do not make this a minuscule thing. Don't feel like just talking about things is not going to help, because it is. But most people have a lack of communication because they're really scared to face what's actually happening in that relationship. And so once you start to turn toward and look at and face what's actually happening in your relationship, most of us get scared. We don't like it. We run away from it, right? So it's not something that we really want to deal with, which causes and even further moves us toward lacking communication because we're fearing it, the unknown. How am I going to react? How is this going to turn out? Are we still going to be a couple or together in the relationship? How are things going to play out? So that unknown even further helps you to stop the communication. So lack of communication destroys and kills the romance in your relationship. The fourth thing is aggression. Aggression kills the romance in your relationship. Anytime you don't feel safe and secure with your partner, you have some love for them, but that romantic feeling is not there because you always have to be on guard. You always feel like you have to keep your guard up and even challenge what he or she is saying to you, about the situation, about the things that you're not doing. Because usually when a person is aggressive, they're trying to be controlling and take over the situation and trying to keep you in your little me status. So you don't speak up. So you do fear them in some instances. But it's mainly about control, that aggression. And the person that is the aggressive party has some underlying anger issues that they need to release. And how they release it is up to them, but they need to get this out. Talk therapy, whatever it is, but you need to release that stuff because you're really trying to control the situation. And the more you try to control the situation, the more you're actually losing out on your power as well as control of the situation, including your relationship, including your partner. So being very aggressive does not add to, it only subtracts from the romance in your relationship. Number 5, the loss of physical touch, which could be cuddling, it could be sex, it could be hugs, it could be holding hands, it could literally just, I'm walking past you and I want to touch you. I want to touch your head. I want to touch your shoulder. I want to touch your forearm, rubbing on your legs. All of that has gone by the wayside or never existed from one party or both. Lack of physical touch is literally killing the romance in your relationship. Did you know, and I said this here before, but if you're finding me for the very first time, maybe you've never heard this from me, which is infants, newborns can literally die if they do not receive that physical touch, if they're not held. So just think how powerful it is that a human being, an infant, could lose his life if the mom, dad, guardian, someone is not hugging and cuddling and letting their energies interact with one another. The infant can literally die. And so after we get past a certain point, we're not going to die anymore, but literally something down inside is dead, and it can be awakened, but it takes some time because you don't realize that this is something that you've been longing for your entire life. Because you've blocked it or because you didn't receive it, now it's kind of shut down within you. We all still need the physical touch. And especially since we're talking about romance today, you need the physical touch in order for that romantic feeling, that connectedness, that deep connectedness that you long for to be there. Number 6, money. Money is one of the top reasons why people end up divorced. There are 2 others, but money is one of them. So talk about your finances. Get your finances in order. Literally, anytime your finances are not in order, the romance is gone. Totally. And this could be on both sides. This is the person that is like the working person, and it's killing their spirit, so the romance is gone within them because they're thinking about the money. But then also the person that is used to you bringing home the bacon, and it could be man or woman, right? That person is also missing and longing and looking for you again. There's that security as well that comes up. but the romance is absolutely dying or is dead when the financial aspect of your relationship is out of whack. Don't underestimate the power of money. We know that money is not everything, but it totally helps us to eat, to keep our house, to keep our the roof over our head, etc. So money does play a part in your relationship. Don't run away from it. Get your finances in order, because it's literally killing the romance in your relationship when your finances are not in order. And this is on both ends of the relationship, for both parties within the relationship. So it's not just one person, it's both of you. The tension is in the air. Number 7, in-laws. Your in-law could be killing the romance in your relationship. And it's usually killing the romance in your relationship when your partner or you, whomever is taking the side of the in-laws over the spouse. So if you're the person, man or woman, does not matter, taking your in-laws viewpoint or side more often than you are taking up for your spouse, you are literally adding to and killing and destroying the romance in your relationship, because all of us want to feel heard, understood, appreciated, and respected by the person that we love. And so if your in-laws are disrespecting your spouse in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and you are not taking up for him or her, and you are allowing this behavior to continue, you are killing and destroying the romance in your relationship by allowing others, in this case your in-laws, in and even taking over your spouse's spot, or because you don't have a backbone to stand up for your spouse as you should. Because if you're a believer, and if you're here, you probably are, because I'm a believer, and God actually says that you leave from your parents or guardians and you cleave to your husband and cleave to your wife, which means you two are becoming one and y'all move as one unit. Whether you agree or disagree is a different story. That does not matter. That's not what we're talking about right here. What we are speaking about is you playing a part in you killing the romance in your relationship by allowing your in-laws too far, or I should say too close and too deep into your relationship. And this could be in any way. In your finances, always having to go speak to them before you speak to your spouse. Like, it could be in a multitude of ways, right? So maybe you guys just had a baby, and now the in-laws are coming to live with you for a little while to help out with the baby, and all of a sudden your wife is like, listen, I actually want to, I love the help, thank you, but I want more control in these weeks that your mom is here. And it's usually the mom, the dad sometimes, but it's usually the mom. She's trying to come in and take over because maybe this is your first child, right? And you don't know what you're doing. And because she's had a child or children before you, she knows everything. Well, that's just not true. And also, you have to have your spouse's back, because now, again, you are breaking down the security as well as the trust that she once had for you. These are my 7 ways that you are killing, destroying, and even ripping the romance right from under your nose. I love you guys. There's nothing that you can do about it. I am MarshaunO, your favorite life and relationship strategist, and I help Christian women that are married or in long-term relationships to stop feeling disconnected and unloved and shift you to feeling heard, understood, and appreciated. Now, if you need some help with this, go ahead and go to www.MarshaunO.com and schedule your free 30-minute consultation. I love you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.